All right, what's good, everybody? We are live. This is Perspectives. I am your host today, Holden Stefan Roy. Unfortunately, everybody's other favorite host, Liddy Bro Flacko, is unable to be here with us today, but we are in fact joined by Mr. The Bad Seed, who will come
Yeah.
through and share his
Yeah.
perspectives with us. Um, so since Flacco is not here, as y'all know, he likes to do his little intro. So I like to do my bad version of his intro since he's not here to do it himself. He likes to start it off kind of describing how the show came to be. He was doing his Liddy Bros Volume 1 run. That album happened to be mixed up in Montreal by a guy I know on the Facebook. He's an engineer. I was talking with him, whatnot. He shared a track one day, and he doesn't really share a lot, so it catches your eye. I clicked on that, and I'm like, yo, it is a vibe. This led me to reviewing the first Liddy Bros project because I was super curious, which then led to me interviewing Flacco. We did the whole thing, and in his words, he felt it was super therapeutic and was surprised that people hadn't asked him questions like this and things along that line. And typical New Yorker that he is, when he finds some dope shit, he has to put his people onto it and proceeds to kind of run it, which leads us to this moment where we are over here on this Zoom, kind of having this conversation at this point. So,
Yeah.
in order to get this all started right, we like to kind of have like a proper opening question, but like the pre-opening question is, could you just introduce yourself briefly? Let us know where you're from and where your parents are from.
Peace, y'all. My name is Bassy, aka Niggerless Cage, aka Larry J. Blige, aka your mother's baby father. And I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I was born in a snowstorm way back in 1975. It's a cold day. Woo! And my mother's from Brooklyn, my father's from Brooklyn. My mother was from Marcy at Marcy Projects. My father was from Bed-Stuy. He was from St. Mark's in Bed-Stuy.
That's wildly cool to know. So basically, we can say you're Brooklyn through and through.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
I like that. All right, so that leads us in because it's the context for like the opening question, which is a little bit of a story. On my outlines, we're gonna start running through your story. And it all starts off with my girlfriend, and she's washing the dishes one time, and she's got her phone out, and she's playing that Black Eyed Peas song, that I got a feeling. Ooh, she vibing, she dancing, she doing her thing. I'm looking at her, and I'm like, when the fuck did this song become chores music? Cause like I'm looking at this song and now it's some shit that people be putting on to go jogging or to do some exercise, to do some chores, whatever they may be doing. They want to go back to the happier times when they're doing some boring whatevers. But if you think about that track and run it back 10 years, that shit is like middle of the night anthem shit. Everybody drunk, having a wonderful fucking
facts.
time. 10 years goes by, the song doesn't change because it's a song, but we evolve so much as people that the context surrounding our lives makes that song become like the chores music, which got me thinking about them 20-year-olds. They out there wilding out doing their thing. They have no idea this is the future soundtrack to their dishes washing. They
Yeah,
also don't know that whenever we find out about their shit, we start washing dishes to it pretty quick. Like that's just
yeah,
kind of the cycle of life. Now, I
yeah,
bring all this up because as artists, often what happens when we get to the interviews and we get to talking about our stories, most people don't run it back to the blizzards and the snowstorms of birth. They kind of start in that more adolescent phase when they form their identity. The I started writing rhymes when I was the my first favorite rapper was this. And if we think about like our musical journeys, that's definitely not the start of anyone's story because like music's one of those things that's been around us since time. Like after when you came out in the hospital, wherever you was at, it's probably music playing in the room, being absorbed into you, and from that moment on, there was just a lot of stuff happening outside of your control. Like I can remember being like 5 years old. My dad's got these gray boxes all over the fucking tape deck, the radios, the amplifier, all these wires and shit going out the speakers. He'd be running Led Zeppelin tapes and shit like that. At nighttime, live from the clubs in Montreal, we had this MC Mario dude spinning his shit. My mom, she's more on the love songs and the discos and the musicals and that whole other vibe. And collectively, this shit kind of makes up a lot of the soundtrack to my existence, but till I get old enough to start giving a shit myself. So with all of that, Mr. The Bad Seed, can you run us back to being the youngest bad seed you can remember being and telling us a little bit about what it sounds like to be in Brooklyn? But keep in mind, I'm from Montreal. I've never really been. Oh, say word. Flacko is here with us.
Oh shit! What? Look at him. There
Say
you go.
word.
Sorry about the late entrance. I'm gonna mute myself because the music's on the background of the van.
Yeah.
I'm here
No
though.
worries,
I'll be
man.
jumping in. I'll be jumping in.
That's
No
dope.
doubt. No doubt.
So yeah,
Salute.
if you could bring us, I guess. Hold on, let me just flip this. Yeah, bring us back, I guess, to the days when you were young, and just keep in mind, I'm from Montreal. I ain't never really been to New York before, although I'm changing that in the first week of November. But I've never been before, so a lot of times when you want to say, you know what I mean, I don't fully know what you mean. Is really the key thing to take from that. So yeah, if you could bring us back, that'd be fire, so we could learn your story a little bit.
Wow. My, it's important to note that my mom could sing, right? Initially. So and then my father's side, they were Pentecostal. Um their religion was Pentecostal. So, they basically had the
Rough.
Pentecostal church.
That's very strict upbringing.
Yeah, but that was his family. You know what I'm saying? That was his family that he came from. And yeah, they was strict. Like they was on some, the girls had to wear skirts, they couldn't wear nail polish, all that. Like how he hooked up with my mom's was crazy because my mom's was banging in Marcy. Like she's from Marcy and he was from the other side. He was from St. Mark's. Um my dad was the black sheep of the family. He actually ran the streets, his side of the family. So that's how he ended up linking with my mother. My dad was a DJ. He was trying to I think a lot of the guys that I know, their dad was into some sort of record collecting. Had crates of things. And I was fortunate because I still remember these songs. There's a story, true story, on Everything I Love. My mother tells about how when I was 2 years old, I would go to the turntable. I would take Earth, Wind, and Fire's record out, put it on the turntable, put the needle on Getaway. Getaway was my shit. Get away. And then I'm doing the baby bounce. You know how babies don't know how to dance. They just bounce with that
True,
stupid look on the face. Yeah, that's what I was. That's basically what my mother says I did at 2 years old, just for watching that. Yo, I used to study the album covers and how Lonnie Liston Smith had like the artwork on the album covers and the Earth, Wind, and Fire album covers. I was telling Flacko, the first album that I bought with my own money was Anita Baker. You know what I'm saying? The first rap album I bought was Ice-T, Power. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
That's a long, like Ice-T was that's like that he was the first West Coast guy, right? Like
yeah. But
Okay.
to be real with you, it even goes a little bit further back than that. Because not so much. Okay. The Earth, Wind, and Fire stuff, that's when I was young. As I started growing and getting into it, I saw like MTV. Like I came from the era where we watched MTV and they actually played videos. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it wasn't urban music or MTV at that time. It wasn't. It was Bananarama and Madonna and Duran Duran and Bon Jovi. Like these was Def Leppard, homie with the one arm playing the drums. He was killing it. The nigga had the nigga had one arm. He was going crazy on him. You know what I'm saying? So it was stuff like that. It was stuff like that that really was in the household that shaped and molded a lot, a lot.
Yeah, it's wildly nifty. So at what point does like hip hop get introduced into the picture?
Had to be, I want to say, because to be honest with you, I wasn't, I ain't even really like rap at first. It was cool. I thought it was alright, but I was really into the Depeche Modes and like I like that stuff. Like it was dope. Um, I had a feeling I would probably get into hip hop, but I didn't run to.
Right.
I know like 85, 86 when Rapping Duke came out and Dougie Fresh, the show, and Lottie Dottie. Like those were the joints that had me stick my ears up. Like, okay, what's this? And then I started hearing LL and Run DMC, and I'm like, okay, all right. But I ain't really want to start rapping until '88. When I heard Big Daddy Kane. When I heard Kane, it was a rap. Let it roll, get full. I just can't hold back and forth because I'm a male soul. And controlling effects of what the heck? Rock the disco. I was like, yo, that's it.
There was a lot of sofrito coming out of Big Daddy Kane back in the days.
That was it.
There was no. So I would venture to say Big Daddy Kane was the sofrito god of the 80s.
That's a fact. That's a whole fact. That's a whole fact. That's sofrito. That's a whole fact.
That's fair. Eh? I mean, to me, it's wild, right? Because like I'm 33, so you're like growing up listening to the guys that were older than me and all of the ones that they praised, and you're like, there, well, these guys is dropping, and that's like
Yeah.
you're like living it in a very literal sense of the inceptions of all this, which is wild. Are you like also seeing it come to life in the communities and all of that as well?
What you mean? You mean as far as the music? Like, do I
Yeah,
see
like the
music
whole like
come?
vibe of it, like the whole culture kind of.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was the dope thing about it is I think I'm very fortunate to have been born when I was born because the things that I've seen as far as culture, period, and how it's evolved just from music to television to movies to just everything. It's beautiful. Like just seeing a whole bunch of different eras and seeing how they impact. Like I remember when baggy clothes was the shit. Like you like if you wore something tight, they was like, yo, where you going with that? They used to call it young. Like, where you going with that young ass hoodie on?
Young ass hoodie, them
Hold
young
on, hold
ass jeans.
on. One of those young
And
ass jeans.
if your pants were your size, right? That means that when
Yeah,
you sat down, your socks would show a little bit. Which
fact.
means what you doing with them high waters
Like with
on?
them high waters.
Dude,
Word
high
up.
water pants
Word
on.
up. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I seen that era. I seen it turn into the tighter the better. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy, but it's ill how it evolves because Run DMC and them niggas was wearing tight ass Wranglers. And then it went into but even before that, like what Bambaataa and them was wearing costumes with gowns and all types of shit.
They weren't and then let's not even forget, right, that in our communities, our uncles and fathers were dressing crazy in the 70s and the 60s.
That's a fact. They was dressing like
You don't
jive turkeys.
you
They was
don't
looking
want to
like jive turkeys.
you don't want to pull up that picture of the Isleys and all the homies back then because it was different.
Looking crazy.
That's
They was out
wild.
here looking crazy with the taco meat out, and they ain't give a fuck, bro.
I love it. This is
Word.
cool. This has gone in directions that we don't normally go. I like it. This is nice. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying this chat.
Word up.
So,
Word up.
so you basically here you get into it in '88,
Yeah.
and you decide you're gonna start rapping with Big Daddy Kane. How old are you when that happens?
That was eighth grade. That
Okay.
was that was eighth grade, 88. It was ill
So
because all the years was the 86, sixth grade, 87, seventh grade, 88, eighth grade, 89, ninth grade.
that's
It was crazy. Like it was crazy.
So like, what happens when you decide you're gonna start rapping? How do you like actually go about doing that in '88?
What? I'm sorry.
So how do you actually go about rapping in '88 as you're
Nah,
deciding I want to do this?
because how it happened was I saw, going to school, everybody was trying to rap. Like they was banging on the table, on the lunch table, shit like that. And all the girls used to stand around and watch. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, I used to sit there. I ain't gonna front. I was hating. I was like, yo, these niggas, they trash, bitch. These niggas is copying raps too, like stuff. I heard that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man,
They were passing off other people's bars as their own.
facts. Like I had heard because I used to listen to. By then, I had started getting into it, so I was listening to Mr. Magic and Red Alert. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to it. I just wasn't rapping yet. You know what I mean? So I went home. I'll never forget it. I went home, turned on Video Music Box. Shout to Ralph McDaniels. Video Music Box came on channel 31. It came on after school, and it was like the underground rap city before rap city in New York. They played everything. Shout to Ralph McDaniels, Uncle Ralph, right? So I came home. After school, I went, made me a sandwich. I'll never forget. It was turkey cheese with the mayo. You know what I'm saying? I had got me some Tang because Tang was the shit back in the days. Got me some
Yo,
Tang. Put it in the cup. I sat down. I turned on Video Music Box. I think I got on the phone. You get on the phone. You call a little broad. Messing with his school. Talking to them. I remember I seen the video for the symphony. I said, I'm doing, yo, shorty, I'm gonna call you back. Bam! I'm watching this shit. And then they play Ain't No Half Stepping after. I said, nah, that's it. That's it. I start writing my own raps.
Playlist is crazy.
I start writing my own joint. But I said, come, step into my kingdom. You're a scavenger in search of a crumb. That's all I remember. But I went to school the next day. Bang! And my first rap name was Chili C.
okay.
Yeah, because
So
my name Corey is Chili C.
so you came in and you just took over because Big Daddy Kane inspired you, and then you became ill with this shit. Well, in the confines of the high school or middle school, I don't know what grade
Yeah,
eighth grade is.
well, that was junior high. That was the last grade of junior
Right.
high. I graduated from there and then went to high school.
So I guess at that point, I mean, it's still pretty early on. Is it more of this kind of the school version of it in high school, or do you get
Yeah.
access to more stuff for
Nah. What happened was now when you go into high school, you start bumping into people who also been rapping. You know what I'm saying? And you got to remember this was hip hop was still kind of young. Like when nobody really going platinum and all that. Nobody was really thinking about that. Like if somebody went platinum, like it was somebody like Hammer or you know something like that. They was doing numbers like that. It really wasn't the rappers like us. So um, you know, high school, I started getting in my first rap groups. You know, I had went out to Ohio because my dad was in the Air Force, and he was living out in Ohio, and I went out there and I did like my first year of high school out there, and I met some dudes out there that rap, and we formed my first rap group. Shout to them, my man Fred Blast, my man Yell, my man Stokes. Um, we had a crew called COA, Center of Attention, and in high school, everybody used to hate on us. All the dudes used to hate on us because the girls, you know what I'm saying? Like this was some new shit rapping, and if you was nice at it back then, it meant something. You know what I mean? So the jocks that couldn't do it, you know, they was a little tight or whatever. I ended up coming back to New York, and it was still business as usual because by now I came back to New York in '90. When I came back to New York, I remember Funk Flex. He wasn't who he is yet, but he was playing on 107.5 for a lady named Lady B. Lady B was the host, and Funk Flex was the DJ. And I remember, then now, mind you, this is '90. You know, they was playing stuff like now Red Alert was still popping. Mr. Magic wasn't popping no more. It was Funk Flex. And they was playing I remember hearing Brand Nubians. Cause mind you, I was in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? I came back to New York. Oh shit. But I was still knowing what was going on because I was watching Rap City and shit. I came back to New York. I'm listening to Stretch Armstrong, Bobito. You know what I mean? Listening to them. I ended up going up there, spitting up there with PH eventually, which was a dream come true because I used to listen to it.
Rest in peace to the homie.
Yeah,
Rest in peace
yeah,
to Pumpkinhead.
definitely, all the time, all the time. You know, we was my first group was there in Ohio. Came back to New York, business as usual. And then I heard looking at the front door. Yeah, that's what it was. Looking at the front door, main source in '90. And then Pete Rock and CL Smooth started dropping in Gangstar. And it was like everything started elevated. And it forced you to kind of elevate. And it forced you to kind of then move drop. And then Nas. And then Big. And then Jay. And then it just kept going and going and going and going. I love it.
So, at what point did you like, I guess, start recording and like getting into it more on that front?
Well, it was funny because when I was in Ohio, me and my dudes, we recorded we tried to record ourselves in the crib because my pops had a mixer, and mind you, I told you he used to DJ, so he
Right.
still had all those records and shit. So we used to make cause tapes and shit, you know, make the beats.
Right.
For those of y'all who don't know what that is, it's a dual cassette player, and you put the one tape in there. Like let's say it's the end of um the ODB song. Doom da doom 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 da doom 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 doom. Let's say you want to loop that, so it's at the end. You will play that, let the shit record. Doom da doom 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 doom. Then you pause it, rewind it, bring it back. Doom da doom, and you just keep doing that for 5 minutes. And that's how we used to do it. You know what I'm saying? We used to make the beats longer, and we would go in there and make our songs to them.
That was the ingenuity of all the young cats that couldn't afford equipment. Ingenuity.
Fact. That's a fact. What we end up doing was we was like, yo, this getting kind of crazy. Fuck this. Let's try to see if there's a studio somewhere. So, you know, we did our little research, found out that there was a studio for $12 an hour. I mean, right now it sounds like $12 an hour. But back then, that was a lot. You know what I'm saying? And we weren't working and no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We were still living at home. You know, we talking 89, probably just about to get the gigs. You know what I'm saying? So any of us, whatever money we did have, you know, we put it together and we would get studio time and go in there and do that. And then, yeah, man. So that's pretty much where that started, the recording thing.
And so, when did the gigs and performing opportunities start? Like you sound like you're really at the very beginning of a lot of this underground independent stuff.
I was doing shows with them in Ohio. Like we was doing like
Okay.
we was doing little bullshit shows here and there, but we didn't really know what we was doing. We was just grabbing the mic, getting it. I didn't really learn the craft of performing until I got back to New York, and I hooked up with Gene Gray and PH and all of them making records, and we became
Shouts to Gene Gray. That's the homie.
Yeah,
She
absolutely.
took me to 40 flavors when I was underage. Her and
Yeah,
Lyric
yeah,
before she was Sarah Connor.
yeah.
Shouts to
Facts,
both of them.
facts. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a deep history. You know what I'm saying? We used to tear New York City up as far as performing. People would be scared when we was on the bill because we would come through dripping. Like, and whatever we had on was whatever, but I mean dripping. I mean, the show was crazy. My shows alone, I used to like theatrical shit. Like, I had a song called God Was a Dog, right? Where in the song, I die and I go to heaven and I'm talking to God, asking him why all this, let me go back to earth. And God's really a dog, he a gangster. He like, nah, he was a gangster the whole time. I had a song like that back in 96. So when I performed the record, like before I would even do that, I would always do that song last, right? And then, Gene will be up there with me, PH will be up there with me. I'll do a high energy song, and then you'll just hear gunshot. Bah, 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 bah. The lights go off. The lights come back on. I'm on the floor. Stevie Wonder, Pastime Paradise comes on, right? Gene is over me. Um, PH is around me. They like, no, somebody help us. Somebody help us. And then if God Was a Thug come on, then I did that. And then that's how it was crazy. We was doing that in 96.
That sounds like a very like the show that sounds like me and Holden interviewed the homie Zoo, right? EOW founder, and he talked about De La Soul having a show where like every show they did this like, oh, the DJ can't find the record or something like that, and then they just bust out into impromptu freestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And the people in the crowd don't realize they're doing that every show. It's not really impromptu, but that's what made their show lit. That's what made their show popping.
But you know what? That's the point. Like, that's the point. The cloth of what we came from, the people that were on the bills while we were performing were arsonists. Like, it was serious out here. Like, it was people really performing. You know what I'm saying? Like, really showmanship. Like, that meant something. That's why, like, anybody, I got my money on anybody from that era as far as performing. Anybody. Like, you got to remember, like, Talib Kweli and Mos Def were there. They were there early. This was early. You know what I'm saying? And still dope. I remember seeing Mos Def perform and just him on stage and just how he controlled the crowd. This was at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I'll never forget it. Dude controlled the crowd with just charisma and cadence and bro, it was the illest thing. I sat back like a student. This was my man, but I was watching it like a student.
Charisma mattered back then. That used to be an important essence of being an artist. Nowadays, the less charismatic and more awkward you are, the more that you're praised.
Facts.
Yeah, that's wild to think about. Yo, how did you link up with all of this? You're one of the only people I've talked to so far that has been like, I'm performing in the 90s and Mos Def was there. You gotta understand, that's wildly fucking cool to me.
Yeah. Well, Mos and Qua, like, again, they was family. Like, I'm fortunate to have been around these people. I was a street guy. That was brought into that situation. I just knew how to rap. And to be honest with you, without them, ain't no telling where I would have been right now. Because they gave me an outlet. When they met me, I had a tech in my book bag on the A tree, pulled the shit out, word them over. Because they wanted to see it. It was like, no. Come here, we got something, you know what I'm saying? We heard you nice or whatever. And that was it. I ain't never leave. I started seeing things differently. Most was coming through. I was calling him Dante. That was his name, Dante. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say Penn. I mean, right, like not to make it seem like it's not right, but like back then, Most and Kweli were rubbing elbows and necks and in kinship with a majority of all the people that we've interviewed.
Yeah,
Like they were
yeah,
they were
yeah.
people
Penn was
with
there.
every it's just that we are not of the right, like we're not big on like name dropping a lot of people. So a lot of the people that we interviewed really like try to steer clear of name dropping their names, but it's like they should name it because it's that like people like Holden and people who aren't from the city,
No,
they're
man,
totally
it's
unaware.
No, it's
right.
but
They
it's
don't
like
know.
I'm sitting,
They don't
but you
know
gotta
that
like
back in the
add to
days,
that.
these
Like,
guys were really it was Dante, and and I forget what
it was
everybody used to call Kweli, but it wasn't Talib, that's for sure.
Now I always called them Quad. Always.
But it's like
Wow,
it's
I think that's
wildly
what everybody.
interesting because like something that's really hard to do is Google this stuff. Like I don't know if you ever really tried to Google rap history without knowing what the truth is, but like it's wildly not easy. Um, the other side is like I'm listening to your music, right? Like, and it's really tight, and I'm like, this is like really good. Like, at a tier of good where like I'm astounded at the view count because of how good it is. Like astounded because you can ask Flacco. I'm not one to just be like hyperbolically like just
No
showing shit
doubt.
around. I was like, that's precise. The fucking mix of this is hard as fuck, but also saying something is really profound to me.
Yeah,
But
and
then you're like,
I like to co-sign real quick that like T back then, right? Like that is a very factual thing. Like he was one of the very few, like the underground in New York City, the independent scene. It was kind of filled to the brim. Lyricist Lounge and all those guys, they teetered the line between conscious and just lyrical rappers, but they weren't street. They weren't of the streets.
Right,
They didn't speak to people of the
right,
streets. And Seed was he was the one amongst one amongst million. You know what I mean? Like he was the only one
I
really
wasn't on
catering
my
to that
backpack
type
shit.
shit. Like it was
I wasn't on no
yeah, he
backpack
was
shit.
not on
But
the
no, I
backpack
hear
shit. And
you.
back then all the homies was backpack.
I ran with them. Like it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like they was all my people. But I wasn't. I didn't rap like that. I
But like
could
that's
because I was
it's
around them.
just it's so wildly cool. Like to me, like I've reviewed Jean Grey's music. Just the idea that you be running. I watched your shit happen story, and I was like, that's just like a wild story that you were with Jean Grey, and I'm like, that's wild.
Yo,
Like all of
yo,
this is like wild
I'm,
to
I'm,
me.
I'm gonna tell you a secret, but it ain't really gonna be too much of a secret. We were actually a couple at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like in the underground, we was like J and B before all of that. You know what I'm
Facts. These
saying?
are
Like
facts. These are facts for the people that are in the know of back
super
then.
fat.
You got it
Bro,
absolutely
I don't know
was before
anything about like
JMB.
that's like a so you okay, so you come back to New York in like what 90-ish you said,
Yeah,
and then
90.
somehow between there and 96 or 7 you're running around with all these people doing crazy stuff. How do you like get from like I guess you know you run into them, but like I don't know, how does it like progress I guess into that point where you're actually in that place?
Have I got in the loop? I can't even. My boy Magnum P. His name was Meat Pie back then. He was also in the group OBS with me and PH and him on making records. But P knew everybody. He was like the mayor. He's like Poison Pen. Um, Poison Pen, Magnum P, and PH know everybody. Yo,
Everybody.
if they didn't know, if
Everybody.
they didn't know all three, they knew one of the three or two of the three. Like, there's no way you
Facts.
were in the loop and did not know one of those three or all three. Like, there's just no way, right? So I knew P from the street. You know what I'm saying? Well, not PH because I met PH later, but I knew Magnum P, Meat Pie from the street, and he did a song with Jean Grey. Her name was What at the time. It was called Negro League Baseball.
Facts.
He did
I
the
remember
song
that.
with yeah, and What had a group called Natural Resource, and
Yes.
that group had that song. They had a video. and all that. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And then Magnum P told me, he was like, yeah, you know, I just did a song. We did it. I was like, oh, word, son, that's what's up. Because I had been in a group with P. We was OBS already. OBS was some street shit. You know what I'm saying? So he introduced me to Gene to what? And we became like best friends immediately. Like we were like Beavis and Butthead, like for real. Like that was my dog. Like you ain't see one without the other. We would walk around the village with a boombox and just smoke joints and just walk around and look for ciphers, just chill and walk through Chelsea with the boombox and just chill. You know what I'm saying?
Back in the days, 90s New York City shit.
She the one put me on to South Park. She the one got me smoking cigarettes. Damn you. Word up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I very talented. Very, very talented. I seen her do things that a lot of people, most too. I've heard songs and heard things in that studio up in the attic that people will never hear. That was most was Drake before Drake. He got whole songs singing before Umi says, like whole records, bro, that he just was doing in the house. You know what I'm saying? Jean is a producer. She was going under the name Run Run Shaw as a producer. I have a whole album that she produced that never came out that I'm gonna put out one day when the time is right. PH is on it, she's on it. Like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And she produced it.
She is the first woman. She's the first woman I ever met that was a producer. She put me on, right, to the fact when she was up in the Chelsea hotel, right?
Yeah.
She had the Casio, the same one that Swiss Beats had. She hated the fact that I liked Swiss Beats' production, and she put me on to the fact that the down bottom beat was already programmed into the Casio keyboard, and she played the dun, 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 and she put me on to the fact that he was basically biting. All he did was put like some drums behind it and got paid.
Yeah. Very, very, very dope, man. Like very dope. And I was fortunate to be around that kind of energy at that time because it really helped me as an artist. I was fresh off the street, bro. So in terms of like structuring things and just being creative, like I don't think I would have been able to
All you knew how
have
to do was spit bars.
right. Like I didn't know and be in the street.
You didn't even know how to count bars.
Yeah. Well, I was making songs. Like I had made songs and shit before, but I wasn't really taking it serious. You know what I'm saying? But it was a haven of creativity, which is what you need as an artist. You need to be around people, especially early, around people where it's just a whole bunch of creativity, or it's just energy, yo, energy. You know, and I thank God for it. I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world. Nothing. My first time overseas with them, yo, true story. One time, it was Gene, it was the whole natural resource. Me, Jean Grey, Aggie, she was what, Ocean. Was PH there? I think PH was there. And we was in Boston. We went to go see P up at his college, Magnum P at his college. Yo, we all had to take a shit at the same time, right? So check this out. This is how much of a family we are, bro. We went into the bathroom, bust out, all the stalls were open. Yo, everything I love, all of us got in a stall and we shit together like a family.
That's
It was
amazing.
it was the most beautiful thing.
That sounds like the ultimate team bonding experience, for real.
It was, bro. I smell things that I never smelled.
Everybody smelled each other's shit, literally. You know what I mean? And when you
Right.
know that everybody's shit don't stink and everybody understands they're on the same plateau together,
Yeah,
that brings
amazing.
brings the team tighter together.
yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying? Like I was fortunate to be around that energy. It was just a lot of really good energy around it, and all that helped to help.
That's amazing. That is one of my favorite anecdotes I've ever heard in my life. No, not in my life. Okay, like 6 people taking a group shit. Like
It was crazy.
you almost don't believe that that could ever
Yo,
happen.
yo,
It's some shit that you imagine.
if you ever see Jean Grey, ask her. Be like, yo, Bassie said that y'all all shit together in the bathroom in Boston.
I have every intentions of following up on that if I have the opportunity to.
Watch
speak
her
with her
face.
there.
Watch her face when you say it. Watch. Just watch. She gonna be like,
That's-
oh shit.
I love it. That is
Yo,
Word up.
you already know. You already know Gene's gonna hit you with the eye roll, infamous
Yeah,
eye roll.
that's a fact. Like you ain't walking away unscathed. Oh no. Oh no.
Nobody walks away unscathed from a Gene
Oh
Gray
no.
encounter.
I'm okay with that. I can live with it.
Word up. Nah, good people though. Good people. Shout to her, man. Shout to her.
Amazing human being.
Word up.
Yeah, it's cool though. Like it's for me, it's just cool, right? You go from a place in life where you're like listening to people's music, going that shit's fire, to like you're telling me stories that they take shits in a group of people. Sometimes it's
Yeah, it's
wild.
crazy. Yo, bro, I have a billion stories. Yo, do you know I'm gonna do a book about my life and my career, just like how Prodigy did. I'm doing an audio joint with sound effects in the back and all that. Definitely gonna do that. Um, I got a billion from being in Quincy Jones' house to bro, I got a billion. Yeah, I got a billion, bro. It's so many, and I love it because again, man, it's statistically I wasn't supposed to be doing all that shit. I'm from Marcy Projects, 464 Marcy Ave between Flushing and Eller. I am not supposed to have been in Stockholm, Sweden. Yo, I went to Stockholm, Sweden. I walked away because I traveled with Mims. Mims is my little brother. This is why I'm hot. That's my little brother. You know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
about to do it for you.
I'm on the album with me, him, and Bun B. We got a record, platinum album. You understand what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
Toured the world with him. And yo, man, some of them stories, listen, man. Everybody out there who has toured, that's what's up. Come talk to me when you've toured, having the #1 record on the planet. This is why I'm hot was the #1 record on the planet, bro. Bro,
It was
let me
a
tell you something.
huge record.
Let
It was
me,
a
let me tell you,
crossover record. It was a pop hit. It might
bruh,
have been
No, I know
like
I know the song because it was #1
bruh,
all over the
bruh.
world.
Let me tell you something. The things I've seen, the shows we've done, the stories bruh. No, we're not talking about just a hit record and a record. We talk about the #1 joint on the globe.
So what are
You
some
know
of
what I'm
the
saying?
what's some of the tier of #1 record tour stories?
Um,
hold on. I just want to say, don't give it all up. Save it for the
Yeah,
book.
not all of
But
it.
give us
I
one.
just want
Give
give
us
us like a
one that's not
taste.
a not important one.
all
Not
right,
an
all
important
right,
one, right? Not a book
all right,
closer. Give us
all right.
a middle of the book joint.
Like just like a
All right. Look,
teaser,
look.
like you would
I'm
throw
gonna
in.
get y'all. I'm gonna get y'all some real shit. Some real shit, yo. This is some street shit that happened, right? So check it out. So we was in Savannah, Georgia, and we had the tour bus, and the bus was wrapped, and it said Mims, and it had his face on it and all that, right? So we was actually staying in the outskirts of Savannah, in a nice area. So when we pulled up in the bus, I hopped off. I seen some guys standing outside, look like they work there or whatever. So, I'm a New York nigga. I just touched down. I'm asking, I'm like, yo, y'all know where I can get some smoke at? So the one nigga, he give me, we exchange numbers. I lock his number into my phone. Remember that fact. I locked this guy's number into my phone. He from Savannah, Georgia. It's a Savannah number, right? So my phone is dying though. But unfortunately, we only had time to drop our bags off because we had to go to the radio station because Mims had to do radio. Now, while all of this is going on, my girlfriend at the time is calling my phone because one of the side things had called her. Oh God, it was crazy. It was so crazy. She's trying to have the conversation with me. My phone is dying. I'm like, oh my God, I have to deal with this. I just, I'm so then my phone starts ringing. It's a number from Savannah. I don't know nobody from Savannah. I'm like, yo, who is this calling me? I'm like, yo, it's like 3 different times. I'm like, well, the only nigga I know from Savannah, his number's stored in my phone. So I ain't even tripping about that, right? My girlfriend at the time, tripping. My phone is dying. I'm like, fuck. We finish, we get back to the hotel. I charge my phone up. I start going through the messages. Yo, bro, I'm hearing niggas like, this is why y'all hot, huh? This why y'all hot? Y'all about to get filled with hot ones. You gonna get filled with hot ones. Don't come out. Why y'all staying there? Why y'all in the outskirts? Come to Savannah. Come to Savannah. It'd be real. It'd get crazy for y'all. So I'm like, what? Right? So first of all, I'm like, this guy is stupid because we don't
You're a New
pick.
Yorker, so you're a
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Yorker. So that means that was an invitation.
Right. Good. So hold on. So first of all, I'm like, yo, this guy is stupid because we don't pick what hotel we stay in. The promoter picks what hotel we stay in. We don't pick that stupid shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I start calling numbers back, right? Calling numbers back. Nobody answering. I call the dude that I got the weed that I'm trying to get the weed from. I call that number. He ain't answering. So I'm leaning on that number because the only way niggas got my number is from him. So I'm leaning on his number. He answers the phone. Hello? I'm like, yo, what's all this shit on my phone, bruh? What's all this shit about? I said, yo, my G. I said, you seen how we pulled up in here? I said, we pulled up in a bus. I said, you know what that mean? He said, nah, what that mean? I said, no metal detectors. I said, what's up? I said, yo, we walking into something tonight? He was like, he got quiet. He got real quiet for like 5 seconds. I'm like, hello? I was like, yo, we walking into something tonight? And he goes, nah, he says, yo, don't even worry about that, man. He says, but yo, can I get 3 tickets? Man, I banged on that nigga, hung up on the nigga. What you mean can you get 3 tickets to this show tonight, right? So now I gotta tell Mims because there's a potential threat. You know what I'm saying? And the bodyguard that we had was a big for nothing dude. Like this dude was big. He looked scary, but every time you look at him, he smiled. Like I would not like, come on, man. Like this guy, you're protecting.
I already know what you mean.
Bruh. So Mims is my little man. So I was gonna make sure Duke was good anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I tell son, Mims, I don't want to say Mims was scary, but Mims ain't really that type dude. You know what I'm saying? He ain't like that. So I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, such and such, this went down. These niggas is talking about they was leaving this on the phone or whatever, right? Bruh, we get to the venue. It was a little hole in the wall, right? Bruh, to get to the VIP, there was no back door. We had to go through the crowd to get to the VIP. I'm like, oh shit, this shit is crazy, right? Bruh, the niggas look crazy. All of them had gold teeth. The chicks had gold teeth, bullet wounds. It looked crazy, bro. We go through the crowd or whatever, go in the VIP, and then end up performing, and there wasn't no incident. You know what I'm saying? But the head was on swivel all night. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, these niggas was so crazy.
Swivel hard.
What if they came up in here and they tight even when we was leaving? You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't drink that. I didn't drink just especially for that. Cause I'm like, yo, when we leaving, them dudes might be laying in the cut. Like, yo, let's wait. Let's wait for when they trying to leave, hit them niggas up. It was a couple of times like that because people thought Duke was soft because he made This Why I'm Hot. You know what I'm saying? So it was a couple times we had to. One time we was in Canada and somebody came through like, where is Mims? Where is Mims? I said, yo, put my hand on his chest. Like, fuck you want to see Mims for? See me. Like what you so amped for? Nigga bust through the crowd. Where is Mims? Like, fuck you mean? Where is Mims? Nigga? You know what I'm saying? It's
That's
crazy.
wild.
Crazy. A lot of things.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Short
And
life,
that's like
short life is
just
very
keep in
crazy.
mind, that's like not a good one. That's like the
Yeah,
low
yeah,
end,
yeah.
not worth the book story.
Right.
Yo. I got a real quick one. Remember Huey, baby Huey, he sang Pop Lock and Drop It, rested dead, he had passed away.
Yes,
Yo.
I do remember.
Yo, he was on the bill with us one time out in Florida. He was performing. Me and Mims in the back. We looking through the because he had all the girls, right? Bro, it was crazy. It was nothing but girls in the crowd, right? So me and Mims, we looking through the curtain and shit. We like, oh, this nigga got it lit. Like he got it lit, right? Bro, this nigga was feeling himself so much. Something told him, do it, son. He jumped into the crowd to do the stage dive. Bro, all them broads split like the Red Sea. Bro, that was the funniest shit I seen. He was all right, though. He was
Yo, rest
That's
in peace to
amazing.
his ego that day.
Yeah, but rest in peace to him for real, because you know he had passed away. But you know that was a ill story.
Oh, your life is
Everybody
wild.
who was hot at the time, we was on tour with T-Pain, Omarion was hot, Bow Wow, what's the dude name? Hurricane Chris, hey baby, him, it was a lot of one hit wonders out. Cause you got to remember that was the ringtone era.
No, you're right.
You
You're
know what I'm
right.
saying? It was the ringtone
That was
era.
when I'm like becoming an adult. This is like that time for
Yeah,
me.
man.
So I
I'm
was
serious.
the 18-year-olds kid or whatever buying the ringtones. That was
We
me
did.
and mine.
We did all the one. We did 106 in Parks, BET Awards, Jimmy Kimmel's, Apollos. We did all of them. All of them used to be on YouTube, but due to Viacom, they took them down. Y'all could see on YouTube right now, though. The only one that's still up is the one when we was on Regis and Kelly. If you look up Mims, Regis and Kelly, y'all see it. We was performing This Is Why I'm Hot with a rock band. It was crazy.
Yo, what's your favorite one of these shows that you've done then?
I don't know.
Who was the rock band? Was it somebody like Fuzz Bubble or something like that?
Purple Popcorn was the name of the group.
Purple Popcorn.
Purple Popcorn. Yep.
Walk around and they were like a signed band that didn't actually have like a #1 hit or something, right?
Yeah, there was actually Mims' artist at one point. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to do something with them. They out of Florida, real talented dudes too, them too. So I'm saying, man, like I was just lucky to always be around, you know what I'm saying? People that was dope. And Mims too. Mims is super dope. And people slept because of that song. But I stand by nobody. I don't stand by people who can't spit. Like, dude is a problem. But people thought it was sweet because of that song. But favorite show. I think my favorite shows were the ones with PH, man. Because these were kind of early on when we used to do the Joe's Pubs and the Cooler and knitting factories and wetlands and shit like that in New York. Club Lotus. We had a synergy. Like I could tell when he was losing his when he was losing his voice, his air, and he needed that bar. He needed a break. I could tell, not right there.
And you held them down.
Versa.
You held them down.
Word up.
That's
and vice
brotherhood
versa.
shit.
Yeah, man. Vice versa. And I think that I miss that. You know what I'm saying? I miss that because we really used to get it in rehearsing. Like we would for no reason rehearse. in the middle of the street rehearse. You know.
Yeah, nah, that's like something that I can empathize with your feeling. There's a 2-on-2 battle that me and Jess James did together, right? And in that first round, you could see it like I'm at the end of the round of our round, like I'm doing like a 6-8 bar thing, and like as I'm getting to that 6 bar, like I'm starting to gasp, and he knows, and he just
Yep.
jumped in like that,
Yep.
and shit like
Yep.
that is like that's almost like fucking being able to like, you know, jump in a
Finish
fight
word.
with somebody. Yeah, it's just a brotherhood that like people who don't have that, they could never understand and comprehend.
Facts. And I swear to God, like I haven't had that. I've had close, but I haven't had that. You know what I mean? It's something else, man. It's something else. But you know, I think all of the shows. Let me think. Recently, I did a show. Well, maybe the last show I did was 2.5 years ago. You know, because of this pandemic shit. But maybe about 2 years ago, it was Lyricist Lounge had a show, and Rod Digger was hosting, and it was me, Lord have mercy and prayer, and that was the last show. I really liked that show a lot. It was really dope.
It's really cool. So like, okay, so if we like think about your life, then you basically are in the '90s, kind of running your thing with all of these guys. How does it evolve for you from that point?
I ended up signing to Warner Brothers in 2000. I ended up going to
Say
work with
word.
Knots.
One of the big five. One of the big five.
Yeah.
So you
I did
hold
a
on. You had a really dealio major record deal thing.
facts. I
Say word.
I ended up what had happened was I went to Virginia. The guys from Lyricist Lounge, Ant Marshall and Danny Castro, they introduced me to Knots because my roommate, that house I was in, I'm telling you, it was crazy. It wasn't just talented rappers in there. Like it was A&Rs in there, all types of shit. Foxy Brown's brother's assistant was living in there. That was my partner. Like I used to run around with them. I was going to Diddy parties with them.
Pretty Boy's assistant.
Nah, Anton's assistant. Anton was
Okay,
a senior A&R. But I was going to Diddy parties with these guys, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And they it just was ill. This was back in the era where producers would send their beat tapes up to record labels to try to get placements, beat CDs or whatever. And Anton had the CD or not. I was hearing Jake One shit, early Jake One shit, like Justice League, like all that shit. I was hearing that shit early, bro. But Knots, I really took to him, and I swiped one of them CDs, and I went on a tour, Lyricist Lounge tour. It was me, Thurston Hal, TH, a bunch of us. We was just freestyling to these Knots beats, and Danny, they peeped it like, so they hooked it up so I could meet him. So I met him, and we did a couple records, and they were successful. The one record went, Funk Flex put it on his album. It was called On. We sold
Yeah, that was
27,000.
volume 4, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, on volume 4. That record, that album went gold. You know, I got gold plaque for that.
Yeah, that was a big, like, that album was kind of like Flex like he was getting away from the formula on volume 1, 2, where like he was majority. There was no original songs on his albums, and on volume 4, they were all.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
original songs.
yeah. I ended up getting the record deal because of that. Because that vinyl, we put the vinyl out, and we sold 27,000 units of vinyl of that. And I end
Incredible
up signing.
numbers, by the way.
Yeah,
Back
yeah,
then, independently,
yeah,
to be able to sell records like that, back in those days, independent wasn't the move
yeah,
necessarily, right? Like
yeah.
people
Fact,
weren't
fact.
like it wasn't like people. It's not like nowadays where people are like, oh fuck the mainstream. I'm
Fact,
up on these indie cats. Back then,
fact.
it was like fuck the indie cats. All I pay attention to is whoever signed. If you're not
Fact.
signed and on the radio, you don't matter. So to sell
We,
30,000 essentially,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Independently, vinyl,
yeah. Yo,
those
it
are
was crazy.
amazing numbers.
We ended up charting on Billboard. We charted on Billboard. And
It's like,
it was
yo,
big.
so you
It was
got a
big.
gold record, a big old contract for real ones, and you've been on Billboard and shit.
Yeah,
Yo, your life is wild.
and a full page XXL article stating all that. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it again because I posted it a while ago. But if people think I'm capping, I'm gonna repost the shit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anyone thinks you're capping.
Nobody
up.
thinks
But-
capping.
Like you
But,
just can't
but
cap
do that-
this. You
But
can,
do that
yeah,
anyway.
still,
Do that anyway.
yes.
Yeah, nah, no doubt. But yeah, man, all of that. End up signing with Warner. The deal lasted for about a year. I had Rottweiler. We was about to go get Pharrell, Snoop. I had Rick Rock. Not to quote.
Yeah,
Yo, the album
You
was
you were
crazy.
you were on Warner Brothers for
I don't know what he said, unfortunately.
Broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what it was, man. That's what it was.
That's wild. So you're on Warner. What's it like working on a major? Like, I mean, you gotta understand. Like for us, it's all rumors and whatever's. But what's it like actually like from your perspective?
It was cool because they took the cap off of my budget. They liked me a lot. You know what I'm saying? They was like, yo, whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I was young, man. You know what I'm saying? I was young. I was like 25 years old. I think the first thing I did was go bought a chain. I went to Pennsylvania and bought a bunch of fucking jerseys from Mitchell and Ness. I blacked out. You know what I mean?
Do you still got the chain? You still got the chain?
I don't have anything to show for none of that. You know what I mean? Nothing. My advance was $100,000, bro. Yeah, at 25 with no guidance. Like, it was.
I already know, right? Like the pitfalls that you fell into, which is right. A lot of us, we come from the hood and we don't understand that advance is not it's not a gifted money for your pockets. It's an advance on your album that you're supposed to put to work for you. You're supposed to put it for like.
And it's to live off of while you're working on your album, so you pay your rent,
Yeah.
pay your bills. You ain't got to go to work. This is your job. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what it is. And you know,
it's a loan. It's a bad loan. It's a bad loan, essentially.
I wouldn't change none of it. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot.
I'm sure even like the experience
never changed.
dope.
Yeah, that experience is an experience that a majority of our guests never got to have, and all our guests were all artists. You know, like come on.
It's one of those things where I mean, like looking back on it fiscally, you're like, yeah, this is what I would do now. On the other hand, I don't know. It's kind of wild to be like I was 25 and blew a hundo. That's a statement. Okay, like that.
Whoa.
That's the kind of statement where if you do an eye later on in life, it's just a great flex.
Blew it. Like just blew it. It's gone.
Cause like who the fuck actually does it? Right? Yeah. Like everyone.
Yo, let me tell you.
I know a lot of broke rappers that make songs about that shit.
No, listen, my man. I was in clubs. I was in shit like Planet Hollywood used to be popping on Wednesdays, like Club Envy used to be popping, right? So I don't even drink like that. Like I do, but I really don't. Bro, I was in the club buying $500 bottles of champagne. And just, if you walk by and you had a cup and it looked like it was empty and I ain't know you, I still was pouring the shit in your shit, bro. Everybody.
That's called being the man.
Yo, it was that was called being silly. Because that same bottle I could have got for $20 in the hood and probably got that shit in if I
Yeah,
would have
but it's
just
good
gave.
times in the club. They ain't no good times in
Yeah,
the hood. Know what I mean?
yeah,
You fuck
yeah.
around and
I mean, like,
pop that bottle in the
here's
hood,
the
and
thing,
you
like,
fuck around and get into some shit
Because
behind that. You know?
I could have gave the bouncer $100 to let me get like 4 bottles in that cost $20. I would have
but the
saved
thing
so
is,
much money.
you would have, but then you wouldn't be out there. See, that's the growing version of that shit, which is what it is. But here's the thing: that
Yeah.
story isn't quite as good
That's
Yo, don't
as
feel bad. I just finished spending
like
$500 on a bottle in the club the other day. It
that's
don't
like
matter, bro.
a regular
Money goes
Facebook
and
post
comes.
on this
Money
guy's
goes and
life right
comes.
now. But to do it off of a record and back, okay, like even if looking back, all this shit, whatever. How many people get to be the guy that blows record deal money? Like I'm excited for you in that period of your life because even if it was fiscally whatever, even if it creates situations, I mean,
Yeah.
you have stuff going on to this day, right? That means whatever you do is the right choices.
Yeah, man. Just trying to keep it rolling, man. Trying to keep it rolling. Cause what the fuck else I'm gonna do?
Nah, I
you
hear
know?
you. I mean, your music's
So
fire, but like
I appreciate it.
I
I'm
just like
trying, man.
I'm blowing away a little bit, like all of that. Like, so you get the whole thing, you go through the Warner thing. Do you
You
put out an
succeed.
album?
The album didn't come out. What ended up happening was the black music department folded, and the guy who signed Tupac to Interscope, nigga Tom Wally, he came over and he dropped everybody. It kept me and Jaheim for 2021, and then not 2024 for 2001, and it just the black music department ended up imploding. It was firing people, bringing new people in. They just was like, "Yo, we just gonna get rid of the whole situation." I was like, "All right." You know,
That's
Another
tough.
industry pitfall that most people aren't aware of, how often it is that like the labels fold into each other and departments fold, and like the hip hop and the black music department at record labels is always the first department if they're cool with just saying fuck you.
to be honest, I definitely wasn't ready though. I definitely wasn't ready, and I'm glad that it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Because, bruh, I blew that hundo. You know, telling what else I would.
Yeah, I can appreciate the sentiment of that a lot, actually. I think about that kind of thing because I'm in my 30s now, so I'm not like as kind of, well, my priorities are a little more growing, I suppose, in the way that you're describing with your money spending. So
I
it's like,
definitely
okay,
had fun though. I definitely had fun.
that's it. Like you can't,
I tell you.
like even if I got rich today, I could never be that guy because I'm too old for that shit. So like that's a
Right,
moment in time where like if you got it, you got it, and that's like wildly cool.
right. Same here. Same here. Like half the shit, or 3/4 of the shit that I was doing then, I wouldn't do now if I had it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I was wilding. I was wilding, and you know, you start to, especially when you're from the hood, you start getting that money. You're in different circles now. You're not in an underground circle, so now you're dating actresses, people that you see on TV. Now you're dating R&B girls, girls in groups, and like it's crazy. Like they're right there. Like it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Honestly, all that's wild, and that's like even without the album coming out or anything. Did you get to drop a single or get anything like that?
Nah, nah,
So
we
you
ain't
get like
driving.
all of this shit, and you just kind of like, so basically, effectively, you're making all the music, and then what happens to it?
They own it. So if I blow up tomorrow, they could put it out. But of course, I still get my money because I wrote it. So you know, but yeah, they had bought me a studio. They put it in my crib. So they said you can keep the studio. They gave me 20 grand to leave, and they was like, we keep the masters. It's like, fuck, I'm gonna say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. And then so what happens after that? I guess you're in the means to go a little more independent if you've got a studio
Not
in
a
your
bad
crib.
deal, by the way. Even with it falling apart like that, that's a great deal. Like
Yeah,
studio
yeah, yeah,
equipment alone.
yeah. No, it was cool. It was good. It was good. It was good. It was cool. Shout out to Warner Brothers. What you call it? After that, I had a couple little production deals here and there. And I started trying to do it myself. And then things started changing to MP3s. It just was a lot. And then I, kind of fell off. I was retired. I was making music, but wasn't really too serious about putting it out. And then PH passed, and then that changed everything. And then I'm back, and
Changed everything for a lot of us, man.
yeah, I'm back for him. You know what I'm saying? Cause I talk to Pete. I talk to Pete all the time.
Our show wouldn't exist if it wasn't for PH.
See?
Big facts. On my end, I wouldn't have never been like so focused on. Like I'm very focused now on like trying to like this story, bro. Your story, it's important. Hem's story is important. Everybody, all our stories is very important, and people don't realize it's important until one day.
I'm here,
months
guys.
From now, maybe years from now, but the point is that it matters, and it's gonna be something that people are gonna need, because a lot of shit that got done, like Holden said, it didn't ever get documented. It didn't. There's no Wikipedia for that shit. There's no Google for that
Facts.
shit. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And our stories got to be told. And the last thing that I want is for another one of us to pass away and not be able to have told his own story in his own words, out his own mouth from the beginning, and not just right. Like most hip hop interviews are like, so when did you fall in love with hip hop? And then like, would you like to be on Love and Hip Hop? Or when's your next album? When's your next battle? Things like that. That it's just like, yo, that's cool and all, but like, I got a life, and I got a life story, and like it being told is important. So like, rest in peace to PH. Like, I think that his death like motivated a lot of us to like, not let time pass the way that we was doing, and not being so frivolous with our time.
Yo, let me tell you something. I got a lot of, like the PH section of the book is going to be crazy, because I got a lot of PH stories. Me and him literally slept on the floor together, eating Chinese food, and had nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the studio, like dirty socks. You know what I'm saying? Like, word, you dig? Like, just an incredible dude, man. Like, there's so many people that I wouldn't even know if I ain't know PH.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I have an idea of how influential he is with regards to people he could connect you with just over the course of doing this, and how often he's come up.
You know why? Yeah. Because it's like he was the type of guy that if you don't like him, something is wrong with you. There aren't too many people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's one of them. When you meet him, you love him. Like real talk. I mean, and he wasn't pussy at all. He'll fuck your ass up. You understand what I'm saying? But he was just a really, really, really good guy. Like,
great man. And by the way, one of the like most incredible things about him was that he was unafraid to give love, and he was always up on everything and everyone in rap. And he was very big on giving opportunities, right? Like again, we wouldn't be here doing this show if it wasn't for PH passing, and we also wouldn't be here doing this show if it wasn't for PH looking out for me. Like without like no like, oh, you're Saracana's bro, so I'm gonna give you an opportunity. Nah, it wasn't that. It was, I'm gonna give you this opportunity to battle. And then when he saw my talent, he was like, I fuck with you. I like you. Come. You're one tryout. That's all you needed. Now I'm gonna put you in the league. I'm gonna put you in the big shit. And then after one battle there and defeating one guy, he's like, you're gonna co-headline the next event. And it's just like shit like that. There's not a lot of people in the industry that are like that.
And let me tell you something. I've kind of adopted that spirit. Like I promised him that I was gonna do that. So like if my last couple albums, most of the producers on there are people you haven't heard of. What I do is I'll go on Instagram and just I'll pop into people's lives. They be like, oh shit. They be like, shout to Bad C, what up? I'll be like, yo, if it's fire, I'll leave, fire joints in there. If it's not, I'll say something supportive or whatever and keep it moving. And then I hit them up in they DMs and I'm like, yo, let's work. You know, there's producers on my album right now that I'm their first placements ever. You understand what I'm saying? And I do that on purpose, like going to go look for them to give them these shots. You understand what I'm saying? Like let's get it out there. Let's get you spun on Premiere. Let's get you spun on you know what I mean? Like let's do a joint. Let's do something. So now these people are working. Now other people are coming to them looking for tracks and production based off of the shit they did with me. You know. So I learned that from PH thoroughly.
Yeah, that's wildly cool. Like just that you do that, like that's really dope.
Yeah, I just put randomly. I pop into people's lives, just pop in, and then my Instagram is the Bad Seed Brooklyn. So there is no mistaking who. You know what I'm saying? So like, either you know who I am or you don't. If you do, then you already know that I'm probably looking for some people. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Word up.
That's dope. So basically, over the last while, you've been like kind of pushing out the music, and how has it been in terms of this like return to music? What's this run been like?
It's been love, man. It's been love. Of course, the views don't really match the love and this, that, and the third. I was just having this conversation earlier. Quite a few people have been telling me recently, like, yo, it sucks that the views don't match what the talent is. Like, they like, yo, bro, like you really need to be seen. Like, yo, what is going on? Like, woo, woo. It's a lot of factors, man. I mean, there are haters, and it's a money thing. I'm a 9 to 5 nigga. I invest in myself, yeah, but I also run a label. I make sure Honey Dinero's good. I make sure Free God is good. As far as the projects that we putting out, and my producers and stuff like that. So, shit costs. So, if I had to bag, it'd be a wrap. I'm knocking on heaven's door right there. Like, and that's what it is. So the love has been cool. The people who know. The people who don't end up finding out eventually. So that's why I keep dropping music. I got a project with me and Flacko, we gonna do some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
But
we
I
are.
got I got a project with Snow Goons that I'm doing. I got a project with Easy Mo B that I'm doing, and another one with Team Demo. We got a lot of work, man. We got a lot of work.
Heavy names, heavy names. Shouts to all those people.
Word up.
No, I appreciate that, and I like the fact that you're like whole like I don't know. I've listened to two of your projects. So I don't want to act like I know a lot of your music, but they felt cohesive and like almost like conceptual, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah. Which ones did you listen to?
The one with the hashtag something
Oh,
coming
Get
home,
Home Safe. Get Home
the
Safe. Yeah.
gentrification one, which I thought
Yeah.
was wildly cool. Like
Yeah.
that whole
Yeah.
project. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't remember the name of the other one, but it was something else on your Bandcamp.
Yeah. Um, Get Home Safe was the album that came out before this one I just dropped, Alpha. Alpha's my baby. That just dropped. But Get Home Safe. Yeah, you're right. A lot of my stuff does usually have a theme to it, just because that's the era we come from. The albums, the great albums have a theme to it. Like they didn't just take a bunch of songs and throw them shits on it. Like it felt like you were getting an experience for 45 minutes. You know what I mean? Like so, um, I got that. I got that in me. So like all my joints, like I got an album called The Return of Biggs and Wayne, featuring it's me and my man Naps and Dreads. And basically, he's a Jamaican guy. Every time we talk on the phone together, for like the first 5 minutes, we talking patois to each other. I'm from Brooklyn. Brooklyn has a lot of Caribbeans there, so I grew up around a lot of Jamaicans. So we'd be like, yeah, yeah, man, why y'all chat about? Why y'all call me? You know, and we both really like Shotters. So, I was like, yo, you know what? We should do the sequel to Shotters, but make it an album. Let's make it to where Teddy Bruckshot, the villain, sent the hit, but he missed. So the rest of the album is us trying to kill him. So I reached out to the real Teddy Bruckshot, Louis Rankin. Rest of dead. We was his last project before he died. He did the intro for us. You know what I'm saying? He did the intro for us, and that's my favorite album because I was Wayne and my boy was Biggs, and we embodied those characters. And really, Rashid Chappelle's on the album. Um, it, DV Alias Christ, the shit is hard. You know what I'm saying? The shit is hard. And then
shouts to DV.
Yep. Then we got Kill Switch. Kill Switch is an album that we did where does art imitate life? It's basically the concept is a little boy finds a comic book, and he's a good kid. He's a real good kid, but he's fascinated with the streets. He finds a comic book. It's called Kill Switch. Kill Switch represents everything bad, Sodom and Gomorrah. He starts reading this and becomes engulfed into the book. He meets me. I got beef out there, all this. So now I gotta protect him and make sure he good while I'm taking him through this area, through hell. And now the whole thing is, will he end up like me? Or will art imitate life? You know what I mean? So that was Kill Switch 1. Kill Switch 2 was me, Honey De Niro, and Stuck B, Sean Price's brother. We got together and we made a group, The Devil's Rejects. I was Otis, she was Baby, and he was Captain Spaulding because he looked like a black Captain Spaulding with the beard and the bald head. So did that just like the movie Devil's Rejects. Like, you know what I mean? I like doing projects like that. To where you can
Yeah,
put it on.
that's to me they're really cool. Like that whole level of conceptualism, I really like a lot.
Yeah, man.
And then
Just
at a
experience.
song by
You gotta.
song level, you still bring a consistent style with like a lot of power.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. I've been rapping for a long time. Like I think at this point, if I wasn't able to do that shit with my eyes closed, I need to stop. You know what I'm saying? For real. For real. I think I done put in my 20,000 hours of work.
Yeah.
Facts.
Absolutely. You did that a while
Yeah.
ago, baby.
Word up.
A while ago.
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
it's really cool. Like you just, I think the cool part is you're still doing it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I ain't got no choice. Especially P not here.
No choice.
We gotta keep it going. We gotta keep it going. Because if I was to quit right now, I swear to God, I would hear P like, son, you bugging, son. Come on, son, you bugging, son. I can hear him. Nah, man, I'm good. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that in the mouth.
That's dope. So what's coming next for you then? What's like, do you see the next phase for things?
Yeah, those projects. A project with Flacco, project
Right.
with Mo B, project with Snow Goons. Um, I'm sky's the limit, man. I do films too, man. I got a movie on Amazon Prime right now called The Thin Black Line. I
Say
wrote,
word.
directed, and produced it. Yeah, it's about police brutality and two cops. They're black and they're racist, but they're not racist against white people. They're racist against their own young black males and what they represent, the saggy jeans and all that. They kill a young dude and they frame a white cop who used to be dirty. That's on Amazon right now. And I got this joint called The Book of Job. I redid. I made the book from the Bible, made it modern. This is on YouTube right now. I had to re-upload it because it was some shit, but so I lost all my numbers, my views on it. We had a lot, but the story from the Bible, the Book of Job, where God and the devil make the bet on Job's life. We made that modern. So I played the devil, and Mims he played God. and my boy played Joe, and we made it that Joe was a rapper, and so that I could get close to him and get him to trust me, I'm his A&R. So it's ill, it's special effects. I'm disappearing, all that. Like it's crazy. I really enjoy playing the devil in that. Word up. You know, like we doing things, man. We doing things. I'm about to remake Dog Day Afternoon, the Al Pacino movie. We're gonna make that. We're gonna make that modern. We're about to do that. We're about to go into pre-production for that. So I'm gonna be playing the lead character. Y'all look out for that.
Yo, that's all like that's a lot of. It's a good thing I asked the question. That was a lot of shit. Like you're on Amazon Prime right now.
Yeah, yeah, right now. Right now I think they got it to the point where you have to rent it, but it was ill because when it first hit Amazon Prime, it was the same week the sequel to Coming to America hit Amazon Prime. We were on the homepage with Coming to America. Yo, you know how many views we got?
That's huge. That's huge.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And it wasn't for sale then. If you was an Amazon Prime member, you could see it. You know what I'm saying? You could see the shit. Now I don't know why they switched it because we didn't tell them to do that. You know, but they switched it to where you gotta rent it. You gotta rent it now. I think it's like $3.99. Some shit like that. $2.99, $3.99, some shit like that.
Still being available for rent on Amazon Prime is pretty wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Cause it's not like YouTube. It's a little more work.
A little different. It's a little different. It's a little different.
So like that's a big flex. Honestly, y'all should check that out for real. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes you
dope.
hear some
It's
shit
dope.
and you're like, "Holy fuck!" I don't even know what to say to that. That's like
It's dope. Y'all
a
like
whole
it. It's
other
dope.
level of cool that like you weren't even. And you're gonna write a book.
I wrote a small in that movie. I wrote a small role for myself. I was trying to spike leadership, like put like a little small role, but it was a small but important role.
Right.
The role I wrote, I played a crackhead, a homeless crackhead. You gotta see it. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. But
Oh shit.
I played a dude that saw the murder happen. So you know, I saw the cops killing him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yo, what's the name of the one more time?
it's called The Thin Black Line.
Amazing. Honestly, dude, that's like I'm blown away for real. Your whole like you barely touched into a lot of detail. Fair enough, you have a book coming, but even within that, you still gave like a lot of like the top layer of your life.
A lot.
Like the top layer of your life is juicier than like a lot of people's lives. The whole life.
Yo, man, blessed, bro. Blessed. Blessed. I'm telling you.
Blessed. You are absolutely.
That's all I could say because, bro, it could have went bad the other way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, word.
Yeah, there's I'm right, like not to like uh talk about it in an there's a lot of bodies that didn't make it out of Marcy. A lot,
Right.
a lot of people. You know, so like that story could have definitely went left. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you're here to like tell your story, like it's all blessings, all blessings.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro. Word up, word up.
Yo, it really
Yeah,
is
man.
though.
You know, I just want everybody to know that if you think you could do it because I knew I wanted to. I'll give y'all an example. As far as the film shit, right? I had acted in something and got turned out, and I was like, "Yo, man, I don't want to audition for nobody's shit. I'm gonna do my own shit. I know what a script looks like." I whipped out my phone, opened up an email, and wrote the script. Just started writing the script. You know, if you think you could do it, do that shit. Like, I remember being back in the days, like real talk, man. I remember when I first started rapping, being in the mirror, pretending like I'm having an interview. Now I'm having an interview. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, it's a blessing. Like, it's a blessing to be here talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw this back in '89, having an interview. I saw this in '89. Like, man, one day I'm gonna be having interviews and shit. Talking about, you know what I'm saying? Word.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad you came and did this because like
Yeah.
it's inspiring just to hear like that kind of your life went and just how after all that you're still humble and at it and you being a good dad. You know, I watched your unboxing video with your daughter. And I was like, damn, that's some like fun shit. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know,
man.
it's cool, man. I think this is cool. I don't know if you have anything else that you want to like leave with the people out there.
Um, Squid Game is really, really good.
Big facts. I'm with
Facts
you.
it is.
I'm
Facts
big
it is.
facts.
Like,
Agreed.
like,
I think
like,
we
yo,
watched.
it should be illegal at how good that shit is. You know what I'm saying? Bro, like, how dare you entertain me like this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you be so damn entertaining and keep my interest for 9 fucking episodes without even looking away? Like, how dare you?
No, it's wildly that good. I'm with you on that.
Word up. If y'all have not seen that, I suggest you see that.
This is not
For
a
real.
good time to be the stubborn guy on the internet not watching shit.
Yo, you know, there's a couple people that told me they was like, yo, I was like, yo, you see Squid Game? Nah, because it's too trendy. Everybody, I'm like, yo, bro, you're bugging. You're cheating yourself out of like that's like I was like, yeah, but you got on a pair of Jordans. If Jordans ain't the most trendiest thing in the world,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
sitting here telling me you ain't
You
gonna
can't
watch.
have on a pair of Jordans and talk about I don't want to watch that because everybody else is watching it. Like,
Come on, man.
so what? You got shoes on your feet that everybody else is wearing. The fuck?
That everybody's wearing. Like, come on, man.
No, but
Fuck
for
out.
real, Squid
Everybody.
Game is
There's
like a
not. There's
level of
not. There's
good.
not a Jordan. There's not a Jordan style that you could put on your feet that you can go outside that you won't run into. You are gonna absolutely run into somebody wearing the same
Somebody.
shit on their feet.
Somebody. Facts.
Yeah, I'm with you. That show was wildly really like nothing else mattered while I was watching Squid Game as far
Nothing.
as like nothing hit the same. YouTube didn't feel right. None of it. Squid Game. And then now I heard the dude is like, I'm gonna go make movies for a while. We'll figure out what
Yeah.
I'm gonna do. A season 2.
Yeah.
We don't know if there's a season 2. It's just
Yeah. I saw that. Like
I'm
he's like, yo, where do I go from here with it? Like, that's some yo, if that ain't some gangster shit, I don't know what is. Like, how
yeah.
you just gonna come beat us up and just leave us there? Like, that's hard. That's so hard. Yo, he's a genius. He's a genius. Shout to him. I ain't even gonna
shouts to him
attempt to say
because you know what? Him doing that is gonna make that people are gonna check the next thing he does, no matter what.
he's out of here. We might as well start learning that dude's name now, because he's out of here. He's out of here. He's gonna be the Korean Spike Lee. Watch.
That's wild. And if he does whatever he does next isn't Squid Game, so if it ain't it, Squid Game's still good.
And I want one of them Squid Game outfits for Halloween too. Cause when I seen the shit, yo, the sweatsuits was fly as hell, bruh. Them shits was fire. They had the
Did you see my post that I made about people? So there's other options, right? Don't forget, you could go to Halloween dressed in a suit with a suitcase, carry the red and blue squares, and you can slap people for no reason. Know what I mean? You can just walk around slapping people. Oh shit, we lost the homie. We lost him.
I think that did happen.
Yo, you know what though? That was like the perfect outro. He'll jump back on, but
perfect outro.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, there he goes. He's back in. He back in.
Us.
Yeah,
But
no, but
definitely it's a
yo,
sign of
see,
the
that's a good sign, right? Like
to
we're
wrap
we're
up.
gonna end it there, right? I just want to send like my words to you, like the ultimate respect and props, like from the bottom of my heart. You know what I'm saying? Always have had wild respect for you. You know what I'm saying? PH has
Likewise,
always
bro.
had nothing but great things to say about you. And like, I look forward to what we're gonna do together, and I look
Yeah,
forward to watching the rest of your journey.
yeah. Yo,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, bro. And likewise, I fuck with Flacko. Flacco remind me of me. You know what I'm saying? Flacco be on there talking that shit. I love it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
fuck with Flacco. I
I
be
fuck with
laughing, yo.
Flacco
He be
too.
having me dying, bro. I be crying. And it's wild seeing people's reactions and seeing people just get their panties in a bunch. And I'll be laughing because I know Flacco's laughing at these niggas. Like it's the funniest shit to me, yo. It's the funniest shit, bro.
I have definitely appreciated my Facebook when Flacco go because it'll be like nothing, and then he'll just wake up mad and go on a
Yeah,
tirade.
wake up tight and just start wailing. That's how I am too. I do the same shit. I do the same
And
shit.
then
I, I
then it's
got
just
into it
like,
with Royce. I got into it with Royce and Lupe and a bunch of dudes like a month or two ago on Instagram. You ain't hear about that?
nah.
All right, real quick before I get out of here. Shout out to all these guys. I fuck with all of them. I got a lot of respect for them. Me and Royce actually ended up getting cool. This is what happened. Um, so I'm getting up, I'm getting ready to go to work. You know, for those that don't know, I do warehouse work, be busting my ass, breaking my fucking neck, right? So I had to work the night shift that day. So this was when Royce and Mickey Fax and them, that whole beef
Mm.
and Lupe.
Right.
I was there at the beginning when it first popped. So boom. So what happened was I just happened to see this is all PH, bro. I'm telling you. PH tapped me on my shoulder because how the hell I'm gonna see this shit? I'm getting ready for work. PH tapped me on my shoulder. Yo, son,
Okay.
look, like, yo, look at Twitter. I don't even look at my Twitter. He was like, look at Twitter. I look at Twitter. I saw Ransom say, ain't nobody rapping like him and RJ Payne. It was either RJ Payne said that or Ransom said it. I ain't tripped because that's rapper shit. Rappers supposed to say that. So I'm like, whatever, right? So then Royce says, yo, y'all motherfuckers know what it is. I'm motherfucking Royce. Just going into this whole shit now. I love Royce. This is what I love about Royce. Royce is top. Royce is up there for me. Like I really, 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 really respect Royce. Um, so you know, Royce was being Royce, said, you know, said his 1-2 thing or whatever. And then the live happens, the first live with so in this live is Royce the 5'9", Lupe Fiasco, Mickey Fax, and I believe was Rockness in there? I don't know if Rockness in there. His name was being thrown around, right? So I see them in the live. Now they're in the live talk about how they're the only ones that are really elite. They came up out the gutter. Their sword is sharp. They're this, that, and the third, and they killers. So I started getting offended. I'm getting ready for work. I'm typing in the chat. I'm like, yo, y'all not the only ones. Y'all left the gutter, but there's still killers in the gutter. They were ignoring me, typing it. So I was like, all right, I come out of there. I make my own video. Now, this video is still on my Instagram right now. Still on my Instagram. I make the video. I call all them niggas out. I said, Royce the 5'9", Lupe Fiasco, Mickey Fax, blah, blah, everybody. I said, I want smoke. What's up? Tag them too. I said, everybody tag them or whatever. I said, I want smoke. Cause y'all acting like just cause a nigga go to work every day that a nigga can't burn niggas. I said, yo, what's up? Now, I didn't do that just for me. I did that for everybody like me. You understand what I'm saying? For everybody like me, like don't get it fucked up just because y'all got a name and don't act like because we go punch a clock every day that we won't burn your fucking boots, bro. So boom, right? The only ones I know out of them that I've ever had a conversation with is Mickey Fax and Rockness Monster, right? Boom. I don't even think Rock was in there. I don't think, but his name was getting thrown around. But I said his name. I go to work, right? PH. Here go PH. I'm at work for like a half an hour. PH. Yo, son, check your Instagram. I check my Instagram. First shit I see. My shit was blue checked out, bro. Blue check. Who was it? Mickey Fax. You know what Mickey Fax said? Mickey Fax said, I don't want no smoke. That's them. X him off the list. It's on my page, right? It's not going nowhere. It's there, right? So I'm laughing. I go back to work, right? I George Jefferson walk back to work, right? 30 minutes go by. Yo, son, check your Instagram. I go check my Instagram. It's Lupe. I'm like, oh shit, Lupe. Like, kick, push. Yo, I fanned out for a second. Like, I'm like, oh shit, Lupe, right? You know what Lupe
Food and
says?
Liquor and The Cool were amazing albums. I feel
Bruh, you know what Lupe says? Lupe says, see, I told them niggas they only want they kind of smoke. X him off the list. Shout to Lupe. Right? Right? So, yo, that's what I was doing. I was dying laughing, right? So I go back to work. PH. He said, yo, son, check your Instagram, bro. I go look at my Instagram, it's Royce. Bro, Royce sent the long ass paragraph, right? The first part of it was him basically trying to play me. Like, yo, you know, it ain't my fault. You ain't got no name. That's a personal problem. And And yeah, I'm a motherfucking Detroit general. Y'all niggas know what it is. Woo, like going crazy, right? So then at the end of that, he goes, well, I really, you know, I respect you. You know what I'm saying? As long as we can all keep this respectful. X him off the list. Yo, do you know these guys end up battling each other? They still did not come outside. They started battling each other. I'm sitting there looking like, wow. Right? So I didn't get mad at what Royce said. You know why? Because I expect that from Royce. I love Royce. That's what they're like. That's like seeing Snoop Dogg with a blunt. You expect that. Like that's like seeing Onyx wilding out. You expect that. You expect Royce to be slick mouth and I love that. Like that's what I love. Like I'm a fan. Like yeah, nigga, tell me more. Tell me more about how you're a Detroit general, nigga. Let me hear that. You know what I'm saying? But we end up getting cool. Me and Royce end up getting cool after that. You know what I mean? Like I sent him my album. You know, he followed me. We chopped it up. Maybe something might happen. Maybe we do a song together.
That's wild to think that calling out Royce could end so amazingly. That must have been one hell of a day at work.
Yeah, that shit is on my page right now. That shit is never coming down, ever.
I appreciate that a lot.
Ever. Because can nobody ever say, I don't want nobody ever say nothing. I'm be like, refer to the Instagram post, please. Because, you know, unless they delete their comments, I should screenshot everything so that I still
screenshot everything and then put that in the storage drive and then put that on the USB key that's offline.
Man, look,
Definitely do that. Definitely do that. Definitely
yeah.
do that. Screenshot it and save those pictures.
Yeah, that's definitely
save those receipts. Save those receipts.
Because yo, it definitely happened.
That could be the cover of your book.
That's and by the way, that's the perfect That's the perfect link to the outro because they in the middle of all that beef, right? That's Lupe starts bigging up End of the Week as the platform where
we're right here with End of the Week right now.
And right now we're on End of the Week's Zoom. Facts. You know what I mean? Big shouts to End of the Week, the connectors, the glue to the independent scene, not only in New York City but all over the world.
Yeah, everywhere.
And and Vice BZ forever as well. Rest in peace to the homie. And yo, thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Salute. Thank y'all, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Word
Shout
up.
out to all the
Anytime.
people. Shout out to all the people watching us live, all the people watching in the future. Links in description, all that good stuff. Make sure you follow, show love, run up those numbers on the bad
Yo,
seed.
my album Alpha is out right now. I need y'all to go support that however you support that. I don't care if you bootleg it. I don't care if you listen on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, if you go to Bandcamp. I don't care how you do it, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. Just I need you to listen to it. People talking about, yo, music or whatever. I just need you to listen to this album top to bottom. Shout out to everybody that was involved with the project. I'm really, really proud of this project. And you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
I appreciate that. And yeah, make sure everybody you follow end of the week on all their stuff /EOWTV. They got their contest going on Instagram up for the $5,000 with the reels. All you gotta do is rap. Yeah, that's it, I think, for everyone. So, yo, thank y'all for coming through for real. Really, I appreciate this. I really like hearing these stories and learning about people. It's really helpful. It's a lot of context that gets added to my life, especially because I don't come from that world at all.
Yeah,
So
man.
I'm grateful for that a lot. On
No
that note,
doubt.
everyone, it's been mad wonderful. Live long and prosper, everybody. And yeah,
Peace.
cool, awesome. I'm good.
Danny?
Yeah.
Of course, you know I got.